We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcomed from wherever you are to this live streaming from our studios in Trinidad. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra is immoral life, hindrance in meditation. This is very often question is asked. Is immoral life an hindrance in meditation? We live in duality. We live in mind. Mind is dualistic. This or that. And duality is the coin which has two sides, morality and immorality, good and bad, right and wrong, high and low. You have to understand what is meditation. Meditation is the English word dhyan, Hindi word. The definition is dhyanam nirvishayam mana. Nirvishay. Vishay means all those desires, thoughts, conditionings that plague the mind. When mind is freed of all those things, the state that comes in is meditation. Meditation is not your character. Morality, immorality defines your character. Meditation is not character. It is not what you do. It is what you are. You are a state when there is no thoughts, there is no conditionings, except there is oneness. It is what you are. It is not the character. Instead, it is consciousness. Consciousness that you bring to whatever you do. It is the consciousness that you bring to whatever you do. You can cook in a meditative way. You can cook unmeditative way. You can bring your consciousness into your day-to-day life, going to work, being a driver, being a father, being a son, being a husband, being a friend. You can bring your consciousness into it. You understand that we are part of a synergistic harmony. We are one. It is like, what is the difference? In your house, there are many rooms. What is the difference between your kitchen, your restroom, your bedroom, your living room? The inner space in all of them is same. If you check the inner space, the air that is there. Yes, because of the work that is being done in the kitchen, if there is not a proper exhaust, the air may be of a different quality. Restroom, in these two places, we have the exhaust fan. At homes we do not, but in commercial restrooms, whether it is in restaurants or anywhere else, we use the exhaust. The space is the same, the deco may be different. Deco inside the kitchen will be suitable for the kitchen purpose. In restroom will be for the restroom purpose. You know what is the purpose of the restroom, you know what is the purpose of the kitchen, you know the purpose of the bedroom, living room, your office. So you deco accordingly. So if I put it here, these all become animated. So restroom is Mr. X, the kitchen is Mr. Y, Mr. The bedroom is Mr. Z. Do you differentiate between these rooms? You use them for a specific purpose. Each one of these places have a specific purpose. They are part of the one harmony which is your house. Your restroom is not that it is not part of your house. It is part of your dwelling. When you created the dwelling, you created one, two, three, as many restrooms you needed. With each bedroom, you have a restroom, and kitchen, you may have one and one kitchen separate. So these, if they are animated, they look different, but they are part of one harmony. So if this world is a big house, just as your house may be much bigger, may have been in a big space with garden, swimming pool, this and that, and all that inside there. But all the rooms, the space is part of this big dwelling. In the same way, God's dwelling is the world. In the world, there are different individuals, and each is there for a specific purpose. So once you understand this is, you bring consciousness when you are building the house, designing it, planning it, you bring your consciousness into it. You do not say that I do not want the restroom in my house because this is immoral, but that immorality, whatever you can call, the this, give a name to this, helps you to relax, helps you to recuperate. And so that is important. When you, in the construction of the house, in the designing of the house, you brought your consciousness to whatever was being built in the house. In doing, the doing is not, the doing is irrelevant. Whatever you are doing, whatever, whether you are doing it consciously or unconsciously, is not the question. Your question is whether moral or immoral. Are you alert? If you are alert, meditation will happen. If you are not alert, you are asleep. Meditation will not happen. When you was building the house, designing, planning, and brought consciousness into it, it is an act of meditation. You can be moral while fully asleep, there is no problem. Rather, it is better to be moral if you want to be fully asleep, because then society will not disturb you. It is better to be moral if you want to be fully asleep and you are following the rules of morality, then society will not disturb you. Then no one will be against you. You can sleep conveniently, the society will help you to sleep. You can be moral without being meditative, but immorality will always be just following. You can hear the footsteps, it will be behind you, following you, just like a shadow. It will follow you like a shadow. and your morality will be just skin deep on the surface, because your morality can only be imposed from outside. The morality can be imposed on you without, from without, when you are asleep, and then it will be pseudo, false. It cannot become your being. You will become moral outwardly, but inwardly you will remain immoral. And the more moral you become outwardly, in the same proportion, immorality will continue to breathe within. The same proportion. Because your morality is bound to be nothing but deep suppression. You cannot do anything else while asleep. You can only suppress. That's why in dreams we see things which sometimes we do not believe that it is happening. The more you are not living a pseudo life, your dreams will become totally different, and finally they will vanish. Through this morality, you will become false. You will not be the person but simply a personality or persona, just a pseudo entity. Misery will follow you, and you will consequently be on the verge of explosion. Anytime you can explode. Explosion of all that which has been suppressed. Look at this situation. We are asked to be loving, that we have been given the teaching that you have to be loving. Many things you do not like in your spouse, many things your spouse does not like in you. You do not like many things in your boss, and so on and so forth. So whenever a situation comes in, there is a volcanic explosion. We say things that are not needed at that time. So all these, your conditioned morality has been imposing on you, has made you suppress all that. So whenever it gets an opportunity, it surfaces. As compared to that, there are there is a stomach upset. So for that stomach upset, you can call the stomach is in a state of immorality. It has a lot of things suppressed. It can explode any moment. For that, you made the restroom. If that is the situation, you go to the restroom, let there be the volcanic explosion, you come refreshed. In the same way, we create the meditative just places. Osho has given a meditation called active meditation. We think meditation is a way to sleep, and most 99% people in meditation, they sleep. The active meditation means you are bringing out the suppressed emotions. One of the most important meditation that Osho has given in 1970s, and it was not that it did not exist even before. Zen, whenever there is an anger, there is anger in you, there is an energy. Anger is energy. You want to express it. You can do it violence towards the other. You can do in any other way. So Zen they say they will go and chop the wood. So in chopping the wood is needed. The wood is the big pieces of logs, and for fuel purposes, you can't use that way. Even for other purposes, so you have to cut it into different shapes. So you have gone to the forest with your axe and started using, this is here you have been in that restroom where you are expressing that energy which is going to become violent in you if it is not allowed to express itself. You may be moral outwardly, and because that is what your churches have told you, then what will happen? If you are a little more expert, you will suppress it, go on suppressing. It may explode into kind of occasional violence. If not, it will become psychiatric problem. It may appear in the form of any disease in your body, because body responds, the excess energy that is there, the mind is creating that violent energy, where that energy will express itself. It will express through the hands. That's why whenever there is an anger, the energy moves from the ends of the nerves. You shake your hand, you shake your feet, the fingers, so energy is dispersed that way. So this is violent energy. So you chop the wood, you do something, go and clean up the whole house. So what Osho has said, has put it into 5 different parts. In short, you can use it in 3 parts also. Number 1, when there is an emotional disturbance, there is a suppression within. You want to cry, but you are told crying is not human. You are a grown-up person and you are crying like a child, but everyone wants to. So you can cry. In that, many suppressed emotions are expressed. But this has to be voluntary. You do not need to be, when somebody said something, you are crying, that is a different matter. It has to be done consciously, that I am going to cry for 10 minutes. This is what at one time Chachaji Raghuvar Dayal told one of the person. He said, tell me some puja to do, prayer. So he said, when the dusk comes in, evening time, you take a shower before that, choose a comfortable place and a position in the house, light an incense, sit down and cry. Cry loudly, not like a hissing cry, a loud bursting cry. So first day he did it. So the family members, the wife and the children thought that maybe he has remembered any past event or something there, that's why he's crying. So it's okay. Second day it happened. Third day it happened. Then people got concerned. What are you doing this in the evening? At the dusk you are crying. This is a bad omen. So he said, this is my puja. Who told you? My master told me to cry. So they went to his big brother, Lalaji. So your younger brother told my father to do a prayer, and he said to cry loudly. So he called Chachaji, younger brother. So he said his heart was too hard like a rock. In order to soften this, it was necessary that other things were not working. This works magically. Magically, the moment you cry loudly and consciously, many suppressed emotions are released from the system. And with that, the body feels light. So then, this is here you have created the emptiness. Now you have to use the generator. When you go to auto air conditioner, what he does? First, he vacuums the system, vacuums the system, checks everything, then he puts on this his system and creates, vacuums it. So this is here emotional outburst, and thereafter he is using, now he is filling the gas into it, which is from outside. So how this is happening in the body? It is happening through laughter. Through laughter, your solar plexus is hammered, and when it is hammered, through that movement, contraction and expansion, the energy is generated. So first the system was vacuumed, it was gassed. Now what to do? You enter into, now he takes off everything. He said, now switch on the engine. So that is the silence, three modes. Crying, first has to come crying, then has to come laughter, then has to come the silence in equal proportion. Then you get the cleaned off all that suppressed emotions. Just as during the day we woke, sometimes there is a perspiration. So you take a shower in the morning. Shower is very important. In the evening you take a shower. So in the same way, these techniques are like taking an inner shower. I am explaining it in a very simple and a practical manner so that you can understand this. There is no scripture or anything. The complicated messages or words, simple, that something that is experience of life, how your experience of life can be put into creating the consciousness. The other he did it, that is a 5-part called dynamic meditation. In these were divided into 15-minute sections each, and there was a music to support each one of that. The first is you are doing the chaotic breathing, because you remember when you are making love, the breathing is chaotic. When you are angry, words fumble, your energy, you are chaotic. So now this is the outcome of a particular action. Because of a certain reason, the breathing changes. When you are climbing up on the mountain or you are climbing these steps, you need more oxygen in the system. So the breathing, if you go doing that, you take the deep breath, so it will help you. Again, it happens whenever there is a pain in the body, you want to overcome something. If you can do this, the fast breathing, that is called fire breath. If you can do this, you can create more oxygen in the system. So the chaotic breathing, now that is happening during love making. The breathing is becoming chaotic. Up the haphazard breathing, not rhythmic. So you are creating that chaotic breathing. So is like you are opening the Pandora's box. because you want to clean it. The basement that you have never cared to clean, you have decided to clean it so that it can be used for some, put to some useful purpose. So there are many, you turn on the light because there was no bulb there. Then you start looking into, you see the cockroaches, all kind of insects crawling, flying and all that. So you are creating the chaotic breathing. And after the 15 minutes of chaotic breathing, now the breathing, your body has become overactive now with that chaotic breathing. Now you have to express it. Then comes the part catharsis. You are doing the anything that you want to do. We live a life that we want to behave very uh, decent in front of the people. But deep down, in front of the people, you are holding the hand of your spouse and telling her some all these kind of the words, but deep down, he said the acting is over now. So you are doing the catharsis in that, the movement of the body, you are shaking the hand, stamping the feet, doing whatsoever it is. You can do the, the forming the words. Whenever you are angry, watch the situation. Whenever there is an anger, the words fumble. So you can use, create the sound, you can have the bodily movement, you can use the nonsensical words. Because during anger, the words that emerge out of you are nonsensical, they don't make any sense. So you can do whatsoever you like. The third part is the third part, which is important. So first you generated the energy. Second, you expressed it consciously in the catharsis. Now you have to generate the energy. For generating the energy, the jarab, according to the Sufis, should be on the solar plexus. So you are creating the sound hu, hu, hu. The moment you create the sound, there is a constant hammering on the solar plexus. Solar plexus, which is the lower dantian, according to the Chinese system. So it starts generating the energy. Now, this is the third part. The fourth part is, while you are doing it, the energy is constantly in the movement. Constantly it is moving. It is generating. It is going in the areas where generating the energy. Like children play the game of Peter says jump, jump. So in jumping, the energy is generated. Then all of a sudden Peter says stop. So when it is said stop, you have to freeze completely. When you freeze, you don't realize what it is happening in there. This is an act of meditation. You are jogging, and then all of a sudden you stop. The energy that was generating in the body during the jogging process, and suddenly there is a freezing. Your body has frozen completely. The energy is not moving anywhere outwardly. So where will it go? It is not moving from the ends of the nerves. It is going exactly wherever it is needed in the body. This is the silence. For 15 minutes, you are in that state of silence. You freeze completely. It is not silence, it is freezing. First, you chaotic breathing, you generated the energy. Then you did the catharsis using the nonsensical words. This is what called in the Sufi meditation gibberish. You are creating a gibberish sound. Then it is the generating the energy through the hammering on the solar plexus through who, then freezing. After that, when all these happened, Then there is a dance of celebration, a thanks to the existence. So when you are doing the dance of celebration, there is a pleasant expression on your face. The body moves in a different mode. So you can bring these things. This is kind of inner shower. Just as you take shower, and if your hands and you are working in the garden, you did not use the gloves, hands are dirty, dust ridden, so you take extra time to clean it. So in the same way, if we can keep on doing this on a day-to-day basis, then you don't need to do all those things. So the so-called morality leaves only two alternatives. If honest, you will become insane, and if dishonest, you will become hypocrite. So those who are clever, they prefer to become hypocrite. Those who are simple, innocent, they become victim of such teachings and they go mad. While asleep, the real morality cannot happen to you. And what you do mean by, and what do you mean by real morality? There is nothing like a real and unreal morality. Morality is morality. Something which is spontaneously flowering out of your being, not imposed from without, you can call it a real morality. Something that is spontaneously flowing out of you without any imposition from outside, and real morality is not against immorality. A real morality is just absence of immorality. When immorality is not there, whatsoever it is, you can call it morality. It is not against, it is not in opposition. For example, you can be taught to love your neighbor, to love everyone, to be loving. It can become a moral attitude, but the hate will remain within. You love, you take care of all the rooms in your house. You do not, you decor your restroom as much as you decor your bedroom. You cannot do the things that you would like to do in bedroom. There was a particular chapter, an article, an essay written by R.L. Stevenson when I was a student. The name of the chapter was, the lesson or the chapter was on bathrooms. He has given a concept of bathroom, what he would like to have in the bathroom. I would like to have a library in the bathroom. Many things he pointed out. The bathroom of Albert Einstein was his scientific lab. So it is all how you, but you are not prejudiced. You take care of, when you are cleaning, you clean the bathroom. The restroom is to be cleaned in a different way. The living room is to be cleaned in a different way. Kitchen is to be cleaned in different ways. So you know how to clean a particular the area. In the same way, you are told if you divide your life into different spaces, you have different spaces while you are working with your boss, while you are working with your subordinate, while you are working with your children, working with your spouse or dealing with your spouse. So these are the spaces that you have created around you. You have to be operating with the consciousness during all these space. I have to keep my living room as clean as possible within its framework, how it's supposed to be clean. The restroom has to be cleaned in a different way. So in the restroom, we put the perfumes, fragrances, or the the evaporators. In the living room, you don't need. In kitchen, you need a different. In prayer room, you need a different kind of a space. So you are able to adjust, plan, decide everything according to the space that you are going to use. You can be taught to love your neighbor, to love everyone, to be loving. This is consciously you supposed to be. It can become a moral attitude, but hate will remain deep within, because on this you are doing is somehow or the other I have to tolerate him, because if I go against him there will be a problem. It is just like a false water. No one's thirst can be quenched by it. The hatred is there, and the hatred is trying to assert itself from the back door. And a false love can be a real hindrance to it. Rather, the hatred will penetrate and the love will become false. It is very tricky and cunning. Real morality happens to a person who has gone deep within himself. And the deeper you go within, the more loving you become. Means you are going to the base. You have gone. The children, each child takes care of her bedroom. But you, as the head of the house, has to take care of the entire. So you tell the children, take care of, clean up your room. I will come and check it. So maybe you can share these responsibilities. If you do not have a maid with the children, you will clean your bedroom, and in addition to that you will clean this restroom. Next one will do accordingly. So you can do that also. So you have gone deeper into the system of cleaning. You have bring everybody into the process. The deeper you move, the more loving you become. You are communicating with the children, teaching them something, and everybody is taking care of the cleaning of the entire place. So in that, the possibility exists. The relationship will not possibility, certain the relationship between the communication among the family members becomes easy and becomes easier. It is not something which is it is not forced against hatred. It is something not antagonistic to it. The deeper you move, the more love flows out of you. It has nothing to do with hatred at all. You have moved within, you will become more loving. Tantra teaches you the inward journey, how to move within. Morality will happen, but that will be a consequence of your meditation, of your inward journey, not a prerequisite. As such, as you know, morality is the prerequisite. But when you have gone deeper into it, and you understand consciousness is flowing, then it will be your morality will be the consequence of your consciousness, not the prerequisite. Be clear about the distinction. Tantra says don't be entangled, don't be concerned with moral and immoral concepts. Instead, forget that. Go deeper into you. The more the you have gone into the deeper, that the house belongs to you. All rooms are part of this big dwelling, big house, the inner and outer, the garden, the swimming pool, the yard. Everything is part of this whole, the area that belongs to you. So, you, in a way, you are the God who has created this world outside the world where the everything manifests you, the living room, the pathway, the driveway, the garage, everything. So it is part of you. This is your teaches that there the you will take care of the entire place. So deeper you go into it, this is not a borrowed house. This is the house that you have created. So you are responsible for it. So now the people who are living in this dwelling, they have their responsibility also. But your responsibility is more than the responsibility of the people who are living in this house. So you create, you communicate, commune with those people. Like Siddhi, and how do you commune? Through consciousness, God communes in your mind, in my mind, that you are all living in a space that I have created. So you tell the children, you are living in the house that has been created to be a beautiful place, a beautiful dwelling place. So you, all of us have to take care that it has become a place, it has become a home where you, anybody who is there, the people who are living there, people who come to visit, they feel at home, comfortable and joyous. And the joy flows among all. When we are working, we are as such, we are all in our the individual bedrooms doing things what we like. But when we are doing this, the a work of total the togetherness to be the cleaning, there is a difference, the kind of a feeling that goes on in all of us, that we are putting our efforts to keep this world as a dwelling place. So in that, all the people, the churches, the mosques, the temples, the Hindus, the Muslims, the Christians, the Jews, all, it is the responsibility, just as the atmosphere, because there is pollution all around. So if you take care of the pollution in your room, I take care of in my room, the house will be free from any kind of a pollution. So that is what the the concern is of all the countries that is going on. So in this way here, this house is built by you for your comfort and the comfort of your family members. So you have to bring that information, bring that feeling into them of being welcomed here, and they have, it is the responsibility of each one of us. This is the deeper. It teaches you the inner journey, not only your bedroom, but the entire house, the inner and outer, is the responsibility of collective responsibility of each one of us. So in the same way, Tantra, when you are going into it, it is your responsibility, because mind is yours, the heart is yours, the body is yours, the hand, the feet, and everything is yours. So your responsibility is towards all these parts of the body. So it is our responsibility to take care of this dwelling house. So Tantra teaches you how to go deep into it. So forget the conflict and forget all that creates a conflict. Simply move within. The deeper you move, the more moral you become, the more cooperative you become, and that morality will not be morality of the society. It will be without being moral. You are not moral, you are not pretending, but without being conscious, that you are moral. You are not conscious. This is the way that you operate. This is the way you operate. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, in front of our store, there is few car parks that is for customers. So we keep these for customers because there is a shortage of spaces. So I had told the workers, whenever you see anybody is parking, just inquire from them if they are coming to the store, because the parking is for the customers. So if not, then you tell them to park elsewhere. So I saw a man came, he parked the vehicle. So this boy went out as usual. Are you coming inside? So he said that he just parking for going out to pick up something for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes. So he said, you can't park here. This is the parking for customers. I came out. I saw the man was elderly and not being capable of walking properly. So I said to him, I said, it is better. A human consideration is very important. He is an elderly person. Not if you ask him not to park here, he will have to find the car park somewhere else. Don't know where he will get it. He will have to walk. See, he is getting the problem in walking. So be a human being. This is not taught you anywhere. The rule is one thing. The moral rule, or you can call it the this you don't learn from anywhere else. It only comes to you when you are meditative, when you have gone deep within you. I said, he is an elderly person, he has to do something, so you can allow him to park. And this consideration should always be given. Although the parking is for us, the ordinary person not supposed to park, but he is an elderly person, he should be allowed. And you have to keep in mind the human consideration is very important. This comes to you through meditation. This comes to you through the way of going within and seeing that we are all part of one harmony. This house belongs to me. I am the creator of this house, sustainer also. Creator, you bought this house. You are a sustainer because you are maintaining it. Two aspects. The third aspect is you are a destroyer also. When you decide to change this house, renovate, you will renovate it. Because all these things, the three things, the creator, the sustainer, and the destroyer, is you. So in a way, you are the God for this house. So you have to make sure all the persons who are living here, they cooperate and work together. All the body parts, different parts of the body, the mind, the heart, whatsoever it is, all are working in harmony with one another. There is no morality for it. You will not be even aware that this is moral. There was no morality in my telling the worker that he should be allowed to park the vehicle. Look at the age of the person. And where he has to go, I don't need to ask. He had asked to park for 5 minutes. If that situation comes in, a customer comes in, I will move my vehicle and let him park at my car park, my place. Morality that society preaches you and the so-called religion preach is a bargain. Do this and you will get that. If you don't do that, you will not get that. You will even be punished. This is a part of the bargain. Tantric morality is not a bargain, it is a happening, it is a spontaneous happening. Deeper you move, the more you start living in the moment. You are living in harmony with yourself, and the moment you start living in harmony with yourself, you are living in harmony with everybody. Then you feel that to love is bliss. It is not a step, it is not a condition, it is not a bargain towards someone else, towards something else. It is enough onto itself. I'll give you another example. A few days ago, a person called me. If I am this grocery, I said yes. She said she need to get some things. She want to make a chicken tikka masala. So I said I have the spice that you can use that. She said no, she want to do it as a part of her project. She is doing a project for her university in England, and she has to create this dish from all these steps, film it, send it to the professors. So it is based. So I said, what you need. So I said, what you can do, you can come the next day and I will explain to you all the different processes, how this is to be made. Although I am a vegetarian, but I'll tell you the technique is the same. Whether you are doing the auto-electrical engineering or auto-electrical work for a BMW or Mercedes-Benz, you know the basics. So she came the next day. It took about 2 hours. I took her the complete about the spices, what these spices represent, and how when you are creating a particular dish, what is the significant. Normally we use 3 things: onion, garlic and ginger. What is the taste of onion? What is the taste of garlic? What is the taste of ginger? Onion has a sweet taste. Garlic is pungent, and the ginger is also the same, but the ginger taste is totally different than of garlic. Garlic is very pungent. Ginger is subtly pungent, but towards of a different quality. So when you are blending it, it has to be blended in a certain manner so that nothing overpowers the other. The sweetness, you do not want the sweetness of onion alone to overpower. You do not want the sharpness of garlic to overpower. You do not want ginger. It has to be done in a particular proportion. And then when you are making the what kind of a meat you need, what part of the body you need the meat. So I asked her, what's the difference between chicken tikka and tandoori chicken? She could not understand. I said, tandoori chicken, you use the bony part. You use the legs and thighs specifically. Tikka is boneless. There is no bone. The pieces is cut into small pieces because it is cooked in a different way, and then marination and so. So that person just called, and same deeper understanding that this person has approached me for something that I am aware of it. There is no bargain or anything. So freely I should share what I know, what I can explain. So this begins to happen, this deeper understanding, Tantra and all that teaches you is a morality. They is not a bargain that you do this, then it will happen. It is an expression of your expression of your inner joy. It gives you a tremendous joy to share what you have, what you are with the others. Because you remember that we are all part of one synergistic harmony. Just as when you create this feeling among your inhabitants in the house, among the children, among the thing, that then you will find there will be a different kind of cooperation among all those people, and all of them will work together in order to make this dwelling house a very convenient and loving place where whosoever comes finds solace. And that is the purpose. Now look at the question. Is it not true that immoral life creates hindrance in meditation? Really, the contrary is the truth. A meditative life creates a hindrance. A meditative life, a conscious life flowing out of consciousness, creates a hindrance in immorality. If you want to live an immoral life, then your meditation will create obstructions in that. Immoral life cannot create an hindrance in any way. Immoral life means you are not meditative. Nothing less. It simply means you are asleep. You need to be awakened. This is why you are not doing harm. This is why you are doing harm to yourself. So instead of saying that is immoral life a hindrance to meditation, no, meditation is hindrance in living an immoral life. If you are meditative, you are living out of consciousness, you cannot be immoral. Whatsoever you do, you are doing for a specific purpose. There is no morality, there is no immorality. There was the Zen story. A master was living, a Zen master was living, an elderly person in Japan. A girl got pregnant, and then she was not married, but she got pregnant, and out of fear she could not tell the name of the father to the parents. So the parents asked, who is the father of the child? So she gave the name of that the monk, the Zen master. He is the father. So all of them went, the entire village went, and they said unpleasant things to him and put the child for him, that you take care of it, this is your child. So all he said, he did not say anything, he simply said, is it so? And he took care of the child. Now he is taking care of child, they are already disrepute for him. Nobody was giving the milk to him. He continued begging. So he said, if you don't want to give me anything, at least give the milk for this child. This child has not did any harm whatsoever it is, the mistake or the thing that is mine, but not that of a child. So nobody. Then somehow the other he started taking care of the child. The girl could not bear the agony of being separated from the child, and also what she has done and what was happening to that mystic. She finally had the courage and told the father that who is the father of this child. So they went all together to apologize to the monk. And the monk, after listening to all this, he simply said, is it so? And the child was handed over to the mother. So everybody said, why you didn't say that it is not your doing? But it is not the way of a spiritual person. What is the will of the master? Why this has happened? If you introspect, you will find the reason behind it. You will know you are not to decide. For Tantra, the basic thing is being meditative. Meditation, being aware. Nothing else is more basic than this. When someone is immoral, it shows that he is asleep, not alert. It is just a symptom. The immoral life is just a symptom that he is not alert. So bring the alertness into him. What is ordinary teaching doing? Ordinary teachers will tell you the sleeping man who is immoral to be moral. He may change from from immorality to morality, but the sleep will continue. You have to be awake first, alert. Awake and arise. That's why the Sanatan scriptures say, awake and arise. Utishta Jagrat. You may wake up, but that does not mean that you got up. You wake up first from your deep slumber, and then you get up. Awake and arise. And that is what is important. So only this much for this morning. We'll continue in tomorrow's session. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.